Welcome to the latest updates in the financial world. Let's dive into the recent dividend declarations and financial decisions of major companies. Starting with the State Bank of India, which has declared a dividend of Rs 13.70 per share, with a record date set for the 22nd of May, 2024. Moving on to ITC Limited. They are set to consider and recommend their final dividend on the 23rd of May. Asian Paints Limited has recommended a payment of final dividend amounting to Rs 28.15 per share, with a record date scheduled for the 11th of June. Grasim Industries Limited will be considering and recommending any dividends on the 22nd of May. Power Finance Corporation Limited is contemplating the recommendation of a final dividend, with a dividend yield currently at 3.49%. Punjab National Bank is expected to declare its dividend on the 29th of June, with a record date set for the 22nd of June. Indian Hotels Company Limited has set a record date for the payment of dividends at Rs 1.75 per share, scheduled for the 7th of June. Astral Limited is set to consider and recommend its final dividend on the 17th of May. Moving forward, Abbott India Limited has recommended a final dividend of Rs 410 per share, with payment scheduled on or after the 13th of August and a record date set for the 19th of July. Oberoi Realty Limited will be considering and recommending their final dividend on the 14th of May, with a record date set for the 23rd of May. Bharti Hexacom Limited is expected to consider the declaration of any dividends on the 14th of May. Escorts Kubota Limited has recommended a dividend of Rs 18 per share, with the record dates to be announced. Hitachi Energy India Limited will be considering the recommendation of a dividend on the 21st of May. Gland Pharma Limited is set to consider and recommend the payment of a final dividend on the 22nd of May. Timken India Limited has recommended a dividend of Rs 2.50 per share. Relaxo Footwears Limited has recommended a final dividend of Rs 3 per share, with the record dates to be intimated later. Alembic Pharmaceuticals Limited has recommended a dividend of Rs 11 per share. The Ramco Cements Limited will be considering a recommendation for dividends on the 22nd of May. Triveni Turbine Limited is set to consider and recommend a final dividend on the 16th of May. Computer Age Management Services Limited has set a record date for a final dividend of Rs 16.50 per share on the 8th of July, 2024. Mahanagar Gas Limited has approved a final dividend of Rs 18 per share. Indian Energy Exchange Limited will be considering a recommendation for a final dividend on the 15th of May. Vardhman Textiles Limited has recommended a dividend of Rs 4 per share. Intellect Design Arena Limited has recommended a final dividend of Rs 3.50 per share. Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited will be considering and recommending a final dividend on the 22nd of May. Kaplan Point Laboratories Limited will consider the declaration of an interim dividend, if any, on the 16th of May. Quis Corp Limited has recommended a final dividend of Rs 6 per share. Transport Corporation of India Limited may consider the recommendation of a final dividend on the 15th of May. JK Paper Limited will be considering a recommendation for a final dividend on the 16th of May. VST Industries Limited has recommended a final dividend of Rs 150 per share, with a record date set for the 14th of June. Dhanuka Agritech Limited will be considering and recommending a final dividend on the 17th of May. Kennametal India Limited has declared an interim dividend of Rs 30 per share, with a record date set for the 23rd of May. Sansera Engineering Limited will consider the recommendation of a dividend, if any, on the 16th of May. Orient Electric Limited has recommended a dividend of Rs 0.75 per share, with the record date to be intimated later. Shanthi Gears Limited has recommended a dividend of Rs 2 per share, with payment scheduled on or before the 26th of August and a record date set for the 19th of July. Venus Pipes and Tubes Limited has recommended a final dividend of Rs 0.50 per share. Heikel Limited has recommended the payment of a final dividend of Rs 0.60 per share. Kerr Ratings Limited has recommended a final dividend of Rs 11 per share, with the record date set for the 21st of June. Tasty Bite Eatables Limited will be considering a proposal to recommend a dividend, if any, on the 17th of May. SF Small Finance Bank Limited has recommended a final dividend of Rs 0.70 per share. VST Tillers Tractors Limited has recommended a final dividend of Rs 20 per share. Ajmera Realty and Infra India Limited has recommended a final dividend of Rs 4 per share. ADF Foods Limited has recommended the payment of a final dividend of Rs 1.20 per share, with a record date set for the 26th of July. Indraprastha Medical Corporation Limited will be considering and recommending a dividend on the 17th of May. Nitin Spinners Limited has recommended a dividend of Rs 2.50 per share. Everest Industries Limited will consider the recommendation of a final dividend, if any, on the 22nd of May. Barma Lorry Investments Limited will consider the recommendation of a dividend on the 28th of May. Raghav Productivity Enhancers Limited will be discussing and recommending a final dividend on the 17th of May. This company is debt-free. Cosmo First Limited will consider the recommendation of a dividend, if any, on the 15th of May. Tourism Finance Corporation of India Limited will consider the declaration of a dividend on the 17th of May. GPT Infra Projects Limited will consider the declaration of a third interim dividend on the 17th of May. Anna Pharma Limited will declare and recommend a dividend on the 17th of May. GRP Limited will recommend a dividend, if any, on the 17th of May. Onward Technologies Limited will consider and recommend the payment of a final dividend on the 17th of May. VLS Finance Limited will consider and recommend a dividend on the 28th of May. Foods and Inns Limited will consider and recommend the payment of a dividend, if any, on the 17th of May. Russell Decor Limited has recommended the payment of a final dividend of Rs 1 per share. Vintage Coffee and Beverages Limited will recommend a final dividend, if any, on the 18th of May. KSE Limited will consider and recommend a dividend, if any, on the 17th of May. Stovak Industries Limited has declared an interim dividend of Rs 115 per share, with a record date set for the 27th of May. TVS Electronics Limited has recommended a final dividend of Rs 1 per share, with a record date set for the 3rd of August. Orient Ceratech Limited will consider the recommendation of a dividend, if any, on the 16th of May. Pradeep Metals Limited will consider recommending the payment of a final dividend, if any, on 17th of May. Talbris Engineering Limited will consider and recommend a dividend on the 20th of May. Vibrant Global Capital Limited will consider and recommend a dividend on the 18th of May. ASI Industries Limited has recommended a dividend of Rs 0.35 per share. BDH Industries Limited will consider the recommendation of a dividend on the 18th of May. Lakshmi Automatic Loom Works Limited will consider recommending a dividend, if any, on the 23rd of May. Maraka Finance Limited will consider and recommend a dividend, if any, on the 17th of May. West Leisure Resorts Limited will consider a proposal for the recommendation of a dividend on the 17th of May. Stanras Nafatlan Investments and Finance Limited will consider the recommendation of a dividend, if any, on the 22nd of May. Motilal Oswal Financial Services Limited has set a record date for the issue of bonus shares and the ratio of 3:1 on the 10th of June. Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited has recommended a final dividend of Rs 21, pre-bonus, which translates into a final dividend of Rs 10.50 per equity share post-bonus. Record date for dividend will be intimated separately and record date for bonus is the 22nd of June 2024. Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited has approved bonus shares and the ratio of 1:2 and recommended a final dividend of Rs 16.50 pre-bonus, which translates into Rs 11 post-bonus. Record dates are set for the 21st of June for bonus and the 9th of August for dividend. Eclerc Services Limited will consider the recommendation of a final dividend and a proposal for buyback on the 16th of May. Share India Securities Limited has recommended a final dividend of Rs 1 per share and approved a stock split from Rs 10 to Rs 2 in the ratio of 1:5. Record dates will be intimated later. KC Industries Limited will consider a proposal for the subdivision of equity shares and issuance of bonus shares. Solara Active Pharma Sciences Limited has approved a rights issue at Rs 375 per share, with an issue period from the 28th of May to the 11th of June. Last date for renunciation is the 5th of June in the ratio of 1:3, with a record date set for the 15th of May. Sarkuma Exports Limited has extended the closing date of its rights issue from the 13th of May to the 24th of May. Swiss Military Consumer Goods Limited has approved a rights issue at an issue price of Rs 12.50 per share in the ratio of 1:5, not exceeding 50 crore. Record dates will be decided later. Adroit Infotech Limited has made amendments to the first call to Rs 3.75, which was earlier Rs 7.50, on a partly paid up shares of rights issue. Call money period is from the 31st of May to the 14th of June. Vijay Finance Limited has announced a rights issue at Rs 1.50 per share for 900 lakhs in the ratio of 8:11. Issue period is from the 28th of May to the 10th of June, with the last date for enunciation on the 28th of May. Record date is the 15th of May. Alan Scott Industries Limited has proposed issuing final demands for payment of and final call money of Rs 10 on rights basis. Period is from the 14th of May to the 28th of May. Sanofi India Limited has announced a scheme of arrangements for demerger between Sanofi India Limited and Sanofi Consumer Healthcare India Limited. That wraps up our comprehensive coverage of the recent corporate announcements and financial decisions. Stay tuned for more updates on your favorite companies and their financial moves. Thanks for watching. Please thumbs up if you like, subscribe, press the bell icon and never miss an update. Share and comment your thoughts on the comment section. And stay tuned with Corporate Actions India.